Welcome everyone. Well, I decided to make somewhat of a recap of the Udongun project. I mean, I did the poll on YouTube where I asked everyone if I should make it in parts or not, but yeah, everyone voted for a long video with all its dedicated stuff. The only problem is I'm gonna be somewhat slow to do that because the Udongun is still gonna take a really long time, and I wanna really announce this project and make everyone aware of it. I mean, maybe someone wants to help me or something, I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna recap the whole process I've done until now. So let's begin. We had our inception. This was one of the first designs I made. You can note the handle is still bent forward. There's still a classic trigger bar or trigger cage. All the proportions are a bit elongated, as you can see. And yeah, from this there were some iterations. We even did a small 3D model of this, but yeah, it wasn't much. It was just testing basically. Then came this. This was how it ended up as. We have our streamlined handle. This became round. We have the ball here. All the parts. Yeah, these proportions are what the end model became. So 3, 2, 1. There we go. Here are all the 3D printed parts according to this drawing. Yeah, this is a massive pile of parts, as you can see. Yeah, you can see we have the cone, we have our primary coil and secondary coil construction. I put these papers here because those simulate the clearances of the wire, because I want this to hold together so I can actually put it together and take pictures of it, because else it would just rattle and fall apart. So yeah, we have our case. You can see it has a lip. This has a groove. So this fits together like this. To squeeze it somewhat hard. Yeah, you can see it fits really nicely. There's just a teeny tiny line, but that's gonna get filled with the primer. We have our handle. You can see here. This is the handle. It's split and has holes to align it. Put some wood bits in there. Just clicks together. This. There it is. Handle. And we have this handle. Well, this one is actually still gonna get reprinted because these round indentations here, these are not deep enough for my taste. They are not really visible. Can you really see them? They are super shallow, so that's the last adjustment I'm going to make. And yeah, I have here the other wood bits to keep this aligned. Just put all of these in their holes. And there's another failure on this, which is, you can see this print, there is an alignment hole there, and on this print there isn't. So yeah, that was a modeling error that we didn't see. Alrighty, now it's together. Alignment things have to actually align, which is kind of tricky, but it works. And this goes together. This is also nicely aligned. Get yourself your handle. Last but not least, we have our backlit with the indentation for the handle here. Yeah, now I can pretty much build this together. Yeah, everything fits nicely. You can see these clearances, we worked them out really well. Then we have back cover. We got ourselves our handle. Click, front click, this together, align this, yeah, it's somewhat straight, then you plug the handle in. There we go. Now this drawing has come real. I mean, the thing is actually a bit bigger than the drawing, because I wanted it that way. And yeah, isn't it glorious? I think it's insanely cool. So yeah, another thing that happened was this cone. The support failed at one point, and I had to do some magic to put the part back on the support so it could keep printing. So you can see a line in here. That's where it resumed printing after I did some magic support shenanigans. Else this would have not worked whatsoever. I put the coin too deep inside and push it out from here. This part. It's a pretty strange clearance. Sometimes it stays really tight, sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Now it's in the right spot again. This back on top. Now I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, so that's the recap about the 3D printing process. I've cleaned some of the edges, like here in the handle I didn't really touch because it's not the final thing. But yeah. We have our control panel here, which is actually a revised control panel. The original one didn't have the USB-C port nor the spot for the LED. So I'm gonna show how that's gonna look. Just unplug this, put this to the side. I have my bin of parts here. Yeah, you can see also electronics here, which I'm gonna come to in a minute. Give ourselves our toggle switches. These are the ones that go here, which you might have seen in my community posts. I just removed them for the video. In hindsight, I shouldn't have, because these are somewhat tricky to install. Okay, we go. Toggle switch number 1, number 2, here. Of course, I put the other washer. I mean, these are called, don't remember. Nuts. That's right. They are nuts. Put them on backwards. There we go. We have our switches. This is gonna be our on-off switch. These are gonna be our mode switch. Then we have our 2 potentiometers for power and repetition frequency. These fit perfectly inside this 3D print. You can see there's no wobble whatsoever. Still gotta glue them, but that comes later. You can see these have a metal lip. Yeah, turned out great because we didn't really measure these holes it was by accident that we got the clearance so good. Yeah, that happened. Now where's the LED? I don't see it. Ah, it's over here. Here's the LED. This is a 3-pin LED because it's a double LED. It has red and green inside. This one is gonna indicate our charge state, and I need some tweezers. There we go. I still managed to not get it first try. It's quite tricky. There we go. Now we got our LED. And of course, I'm gonna go to 2 potentiometers here. Ta-da! It's gonna look like this. Yeah. Obviously the USB-C port is also gonna be filled. Could take one of these, which is these microcontroller modules. This is not gonna go inside, this is just for the USB port, because I don't have the charge module yet. This is gonna fit like this. As you can see, clearance on that is also pretty perfect. So yeah, everything fits. Mostly. I mean, 99%. The rest can be adjusted. Bam. Very good. You can see how you can turn the... You're gonna focus on the right thing. Thank you. Psst. There. Here. Then turn it off, on and off like this. This is gonna be the mode switch. Handle has some clearance issues, but we are gonna fix those. This straight, this back together. Yeah, I'm fiddling a lot with it because it's pretty cool. I'm sorry if I'm too long. But yeah, I'm sure you're pretty excited to see this thing too. So here's a sneak peek of the back panel. I'm gonna put this aside and let's talk electronics wise and what's gonna go inside of the Udongun actually. So obviously it's gonna be a Tesla coil. I have one of the earlier modules here. This still uses the old circuit. There were like 5 of these boards where I did different iterations. Get yourself your high frequency blocking inductors. This is the parallel to the tank capacitor. It's a big foil capacitor. I always want to say condensator because I always speak electronics in German. Yeah, it's a big foil capacitor, 2.2 micro, 63 volts. We have our gate Xenia diodes right here, then 2 switching MOSFETs, etc. So yeah, this is an older board. This is not the new norm. Got ourselves also a schematics book. Fit. There you go. This was my inception, and as you can see, this design somewhat stayed the same, other than the handle being relocated and this handle being tweaked. Yeah, all the rest I really had somewhat figured out. You can see that the final model has 3 of these dots. This only has 1 per oval, whatever. Yeah, also to note, it's gonna have ears, which is gonna be interesting to mount. I'm thinking of making like a hair clamp. Just bam, ears on there, so you can take it off and on. Gonna figure something out with that. You can also see the old schematic. This is the schematic of the module I just showed you inside here, where I still used the 2 diodes to pull the gates down. This later changed and actually made the circuit way better in further iterations, which is Tesla coil version 2, as you can see here. This is where I reverse engineered the actual circuit boards of the original creator of this circuit, which he lost the schematic on the website. It's no longer available, so I had to trace it back from the PCBs and pictures and stuff. And yeah, I threw my own twist in here, but yeah, I got it figured out pretty well. So no longer are the gates pulled down by 2 diodes, and this circuit is no longer free running, so it's now hard switched by a 3rd MOSFET on its negative rail. Yeah, all the rest is pretty much the same, other than the gate bias now being its separate circuit as well. And yeah, and then there came obviously the interrupter, which I also had to design because I tried it with the microcontroller. There's a video about that on my channel, and yeah, the pulse width resolution wasn't good enough because 8 bits on a PWM channel, that's only 256 steps. Those steps were too big, so I went the analog route. See, good old faithful, trustful, undistractable NE555 with some wizardry going on here with a double pole switch and 1 trigger button. There's still these potentiometers for the pulse width and the frequency, and yeah, these still will have to have some resistors put over them, and it's serious to, as I said in the last video where I tested this interrupter, to lock the amount you can turn the potentiometers to not overdrive the Tesla coil module. See the boost module here, you can see switching transistor, all of this. Yeah, just for this video I threw my old test setup back together. Here it is! Doesn't it look familiar? Yeah, it still has the old interrupter. This is not the new one. I haven't built this circuit yet because I need to actually build it in a round circuit board that fits inside of this part, which is gonna connect directly with the switches, the potentiometers. It's gonna lay flat there, and the IC is gonna go here, and all the pads and everything is gonna go interconnected with the LED and stuff. So yeah, that's why I haven't built this interrupter on a square circuit or anything basic. Yeah, shall we power it up? I think so. So you can actually see what is this supposed to do. Oh man, I'm excited. Like this. Power on. There it goes. You have no idea how loud that is. It's deafening. My goodness. When it's gonna be built inside of this. This cone is actually gonna reflect those sound pops, and it's gonna be even louder. I already tested it, it's crazy. So yeah, definitely a lunatic weapon indeed. So yeah, that's gonna be the recap about the Udongun. I hope you're as excited as I am about this crazy contraption. You still have to imagine the sparks coming out of here, but that's not gonna be long. I'm gonna put the project into overdrive, or at least I'm gonna try, because yeah, prepping all the surfaces and making everything work for this, it's not gonna be easy. Also, I'm gonna have to find the resonance for the secondary and primary again, and actually find a support to support the circuit, because this plastic is somewhat easy to melt, so can't just connect the heatsink in a it's plastic, because yeah, this heatsink gets quite warm if you operate it for somewhat longer. But yeah, all those problems are problems for future. Right now everything is pretty good and perfect. We got our functioning module, we got our functioning case. Now we just have to I don't have enough magic power to do it yet. Yeah, I thought you were excited. I thought you would see the cut in the video where I actually put this inside. No, it's not happening yet. I need more I need more time, I need more magic. I can't do it yet. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, the somewhat short recap. So I'm gonna say goodbye, and till the next time. Later.